Now it is Florida who will be with the ball. And this is Etienne, Trevor Etienne, the freshman who's a Louisiana native, with a tremendous return for the Gators to open up the game.
Auburn a few weeks ago, they got to be very careful with him on the edge.
Richardson is going to give to Johnson on the carry. He goes ahead for a yard, tackled by Micah Baskerville. A lot of people this week, you hear, Greg, which version of Anthony Richardson are we getting? It was so sensational week one against Utah and then against Tennessee. But some other games, we were here for Kentucky, that didn't go his way at all.
And it's not physical. It's very mental. He did not handle the adversity of the Kentucky game very well. He was honest about that. He's trying to grow in that regard. But he has an unbelievable skill set that can break the game open on any offensive snap.
Richardson on 2nd and 9. His first pass attempt of the game, downfield, going for it all to the end zone and into the hands of Justin Shorter for a Gators touchdown. Richardson to Shorter. And just like that, 2 plays into the game, the Gators are chomping on a night that they honor their local legend. Richardson comes out and says, "No, we will not back down." Rock and roll start here in the Swamp.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell.
47-yard kickoff return by Etienne to get the game going. Home Team Spotlight is presented by Verbo Vacation Home.
Let's take a look at it. This is Fouché. He's going to be spying to the backhand side. You're going to see him come up and grab underneath, which allows the big post over the top. And it's a very easy throw down the field. Perfect protection. Great route there by Shorter. Excellent job tracking it as well. And just a picture-perfect start for the Gator quarterback and the Gator offense.
Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense now gets their turn back out there. Open game trailing by a touchdown. Daniels pressured and is able to scramble away and then turn the corner. He has fleet feet and somehow he got past Brenton Cox.
Jaden Daniels at times has been everything in LSU's offense. The passing game started to get going a little bit a week ago, but the best part of his game so far this year is taking advantage of aggressive pass rushers and creating in scramble drill situations. If he could do that again tonight against an aggressive defense, LSU will be able to move the ball.
Williams tackled for a loss. Ventrell Miller.
Ventrell Miller, so important in this game. You're going to see him just fly inside of Anthony Bradford, who's playing there at right guard. Bradford's been moving all over the place on this offensive line. Back to right guard, and Ventrell Miller has a big job tonight spying Jaden Daniels and making sure he communicates all the different looks to the other defenders.
3rd and 8. Well, we've seen a very active front 7 for Florida against Daniels. Four-man rush this time. They pick up the stunt. Daniels with plenty of time, but good coverage downfield. And then he lets loose to a wide-open Booty, who gets free and is down to the 31-yard line. As he was able to beat Rashad Torrance, who comes up with the tackle, but it's 41 yards for Kayshon Booty.
And that is a sight for sore eyes for LSU fans. Booty been very inconsistent this year, but getting involved on the opening drive is paramount. Now he'll likely be engaged the rest of the way. That's huge to have their playmakers started already in this game.
Just what they needed. Facing their first 3rd down, as Booty has had some struggles, a preseason first-team All-American, but he just hasn't performed to that level to this point. And again, a struggle for Williams just to get back to the line of scrimmage as Javon Dexter Sr. and Justice Boone were in there.
And this was a good job, Kayshon Booty, recognizing some of the open space, staying on the move, keeping his eyes back, and a good job, too, by Jaden Daniels keeping his eyes downfield. I think some of the frustration amongst the receivers has been sometimes when Jaden Daniels takes off, he doesn't keep his eyes downfield. There he did, and led to a big play.
Receiver screen, this is Neighbors, and Neighbors only able to get to the 28-yard line. Third down approaches, tackled by Jaden Hill, who returns from an ACL and LCL a couple weeks ago. Had a huge game last week against Mizzou.
Possible 4-down territory here for LSU. As we talked about, their special teams has been a bit of a roller coaster this year. And Brian Kelly has really been aggressive on 4th down situations, so too likely to get it here, especially with the positive gain here on 3rd and 6.
Third down, short pitch, Williams. Can he get the corner? Cuts back inside and is going to be right at that line to gain. And as Torrance made the tackle. And that will be a first down for LSU.
You hear NASCAR right there on the grab cam. NASCAR means fast. Tempo coming from LSU.
Quick to get to the line. As you look at the play clock, they were up there with 30 and snapping at 22. Daniels. Brought down by Cox. Brenton Cox, who they describe as being so heavy-handed. Well, look at the strength in that big paw as he brought down Daniels, ripped him down to the turf here at the Swamp.
Boy, was he ever. I mean, gets that right arm extended working against the freshman Emory Jones. Gets Emory Jones on his heels, and then he finishes. That's going to be so huge for Florida tonight. They can get that pass rush going because of how good Jaden Daniels is escaping vertical in the pocket. When you get to him, you have to finish, and if you don't, he can make a big play out of it.
2nd and 18 after the sack. Quarterback draw. Daniels wrapped up and taken down by Amari Burney. Third and 15. 9th play of this drive. Keishawn Butte put them in position. Can they deliver now? Daniels into traffic and gets it complete to Keishawn again, right at the stick.
What a collision there as Keishawn runs into what appears to be a defender there, Amari Burney, number 2. Really tight window throw there. You see the collision and good concentration from Keishawn.
And Burney is down, and the medical team is out to see him, so we will take a short break. It's 4th and 1 when we return. It is inaugural Tom Petty Day here in Gainesville. Gainesville native before he went on to fame in LA with the Heartbreakers. I Won't Back Down, of course, played before the 4th quarter, and we will bring that to you live tonight. This is the spot of that last reception with Butte that makes for a 4th and short. John Emery is the running back with Daniels under center. Emery going to get the work, and he's going to get the first down for the Tigers.
Nice surge there from LSU's offensive line, the right side, really collapsing that Florida Gator front. It's not easy to do, knowing you have Desmond Watson, big 415-pounder up there, number 21. Short yardage has been a little bit up and down for LSU this year. Right there, successfully moving the ball. 1st and goal with the ball just inside the 10-yard line. Emery again as they try to move that pile down to the 7. We mentioned the fact Garrett Dellinger is out. Starting left guard Miles Frazier gets the nod there. A week ago, they lost their left tackle prior to the game. Will Campbell was hospitalized. True freshman is now back. That really had an impact on them, too. I mean, they were a mess, for lack of a better word, on the left side of the offensive line last week. I mean, twists and stunts just had guys' heads spinning, and it was a difficult day that led to 5 sacks of Jaden Daniels. So a little bit healthier up front this week, but still a challenge against a good front.
6 different offensive lines now in 7 games. 2nd and goal. Emery out of the backfield and into the end zone. Seven-yard touchdown catch for John Emery, who's back from his year-long suspension.
And Emery's just going to work out to the flat, and you're going to see they're trying to cover him. It appears with Ventrell Miller, he kind of gets picked right there on the inside on the release vertical from Cole Taylor. It allows Emery to jump leverage into the flat. That's a nice, easy throw there for Jaden Daniels, and that's an excellent response from the LSU Tigers after a difficult start on the road.
John Emery went 643 days away from football with an academic suspension. He had played December of 2020. Daniels was 4 for 4 for 64 yards. Remember, ETN had the big return to start things. Won't get a chance here. 7-7. Anthony Richardson had a touchdown strike to Justin Shorter to get the game going. Richardson with a man right in his face, able to survive it. And here come the wheels as he gets out near the 30-yard line. Jay Ward was able to get the angle on him.
You know, Tess, I thought it was interesting. Billy Napier said the shine's worn off a bit for Anthony Richardson. He realizes if you play well, people say nice things. If you don't, they crush you for it. He said there was a switch that was flipped at Tennessee where Richardson kind of said, you know what, to heck with what everyone thinks. I'm just going to go let it fly and compete. And we saw that in that opening drive there.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, scared to make a mistake, scared to lose the momentum that was created off the first performance. Can't be scared. Just go out there and rip it.
ETN is ripped down from behind by Mekhi Wingo.
And I think a big part of your development as a player, whether it happens in the NFL, happens in high school, happens in college, learning how to handle bad situations and not allowing them to carry over into the next play and the following play and the next drive and the next quarter. That's something I think he struggled with against Kentucky, had a difficult end of half that carried over into the second half, but he played beautifully against Tennessee, played well again last week, especially with his legs, and off to a really nice start here tonight.
This is the first third down that Richardson's facing. He's able to pick it up as he gets to the 36-yard line. Justin Shorter lines up in the backfield for the moment. Remember, he had the big touchdown catch, and now they shift back to the more traditional formation with Trevor Etienne. Etienne, straight ahead, hits the seam and goes for 9 well-earned yards before Greg Penn makes the tackle.
Good seam right here on the left-hand side, and I think it's going to be very important for Florida to really commit to their run game. LSU last week against Tennessee really struggled stopping the run, not very sound against the run. And then you can see right here, ETN finding a seam, and what an impressive freshman.
2nd and 1, ETN from small town Louisiana, Jennings, Louisiana, now playing against the Tigers. Richardson, as he's able to lower the shoulder against the true freshman Harold Perkins and move the chains.
Good decision there by Richardson. Situation where looked pretty glim as far as the downfield passing attack is concerned, but you got 2nd and 1, take it yourself, go convert a first down.
You just hear a cheer here at the Swamp because moments ago they realized that Tennessee just defeated Alabama. ETN working his way past midfield.
Expect LSU to get a heavy dose of this run game. As you can see, the Florida Gator offensive line and Billy Napier, they are very committed to trying to feature these running backs. As you can see now, lingered in there as well. 4 different guys might carry the football tonight from the running back spot for the Florida Gators. Extremely deep at that position. You can make a case it's their best position as far as quality players from top to bottom.
Lorenzo Lingard getting a bump up the depth chart ahead of Naquan Wright. And he will get the carry off the left side, and he has a good run to the 44-yard line, tackled by Jarek
4 down territory here, more than likely for the Gators. They've been very, very aggressive, just like LSU. And of course, so many teams now going with an analytical approach to when they go for it. And Billy Napier, with how his offensive line's played and how this running game has come together here at the midway point, you would imagine they got 2 downs to get it here on 3rd and short.
Napier's star running back last year in the Sun Belt Conference is now taking the direct snap. That's Montrell Johnson on 3rd and 1, and Johnson will have the first down. He was the Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year at Louisiana before transferring and coming over with the coaching staff. There's a view of the AT&T 5G Skycam Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp, on Tom Petty Day. First time that they are officially honoring their local legend.
If you're LSU right here, be careful of getting too aggressive in the secondary. This is where Florida like to throw it downfield off play action.
He's taking it straight ahead to the 39-yard line. That was Johnson again with the carry.
You see Brian Kelly trying to really change the culture at LSU. Said buy-in early in the season has been great. They're obviously at a crossroads, but a completely different approach to how they're building this thing than his predecessor. They've had some bumps in the road, but this team still at 4-2 with plenty to play for and plenty of things in front of them.
Short pitch on 2nd and 7, and here goes Johnson. Oh, and those Gators are chopping early. And paving the way moments ago for the big touchdown run. Capping a 75-yard drive, Greg.
And beautifully done up front. Poorly played, though, defensively. You're going to see guys kick out. But watch how the defense, you're going to see a guy swing here, and then guys fly out over the top, assuming that Johnson's going to get to the outside. There's nobody there. I mean, you could drive a truck through that hole. Johnson does. And he's not the guy in the backfield with crazy top-end speed, but, man, he's decisive and does a great job of getting north and south off the pitch.
He fumbled on the opening drive against Utah. Napier went right back to him, said, I believe in you. Jack Besh on the return for LSU. As he wiggles his way out past the 25-yard line. And Tennessee has become one of the big stories of the year. Daniels, as he overthrows Josh Williams, he had a man in his face immediately getting pressure as Torrance was coming in.
So far, this pass rush for the Florida Gators doing a pretty good job of forcing the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands rather quickly. These are really solid edge players. We referenced Brenton Cox earlier, but don't overlook Uman Mielen, number 33 on the bottom. He can flat out get it, too, against some true freshman tackles.
He had a big sack last week to close out the win against Mizzou with 2.5 minutes to play. Here's Daniels on 2nd down, as he's able to get it to Kayshon Boutte, who's more involved early on than we have seen in recent weeks.
And this was nice, too, as he gets up to his route. See how quickly he sinks his hips and then works his way back to the quarterback. It's a really nice route, and this is kind of the Kayshon Boutte that we all anticipated seeing coming into the year. There's been a disconnect with the expectation level and how he's performed, but so far tonight, he looks like the guy that was a preseason All-American.
Drops have been an issue. Not tonight. 3 catches for 62 yards. Daniels pulls it and then goes and just shuttles it ahead to Mason Taylor, the true freshman tight end, for an LSU first down. Very heady play by Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, we'd like to have maybe a little bit better pitch here. I mean, that's a pretty good catch there by the freshman tight end. Having to flip his hips, make the play, and continue the forward momentum. A good heads-up play, and they're very excited about the future for Mason Taylor.
I feel like this first quarter, Greg, is played with urgency with both offenses. Short pitch, Williams, right side, squares the shoulders, and then is ridden down by Ventrell Miller. And Shamar James also getting in on the tackle.
You're 100% right, Tess. I mean, these offenses so far, I mean, they've really done a good job situationally, keeping drives alive. Both quarterbacks have been accurate for the most part, made a couple plays with their legs. So run game still trying to get going a little bit for LSU. Florida's already got theirs established, but so far, great starts, you're right, by two offenses that have certainly had their fair share of ups and downs this year.
Sure that had bottomed out. Now here in the midst of the SEC, going toe-to-toe with these kind of games. And that is complete to Booty again. And Greg, as we mentioned, listen, the struggles were there. He led the SEC, was top 5 in the country in drops. Tonight, he looks like the All-America he's supposed to be.
Yeah, as you can see, this is coming into the night, and he's been a totally different guy tonight. I think getting him involved on that first drive, it's like something's lit a fire underneath him.
21-yard reception from Daniels. Emery now, who had the touchdown reception earlier, is corralled by Miller. Katie.
Well, guys, there wasn't a whole lot of good to take away from the Tennessee loss, but Jaden Daniels said seeing Kayshon Boutte get his first TD was almost a breakthrough for the two. He hoped that it kick-started their relationship and connection. He said he wanted to go to him early and often tonight, which we've seen.
Have indeed. 4 targets, 4 catches, 83 yards. 2nd and 8. Out of the backfield, Emery again, and he kept his balance, got the hand down just past Ventrell Miller to get a first down at the 20-yard line.
Very similar play that they scored the touchdown on earlier. And if they're going to try to play man-to-man, the Florida Gators, they're going to slip Emery out into the flat all day long. That puts an awful lot of stress on Ventrell Miller. He's their best defender. And if he's having to fly sideline to sideline, that could open up things vertically for the quarterback run game too. So that's a very important play to get going for LSU, and they've had success with it early.
11 yards on the reception. And a timeout is used by LSU. Came out of Gaven's debut, beat that ranked Utah team. And Daniels is taken down just near the line of scrimmage and rolls past Justice Boone to get some yardage.
It's so funny to see Billy Napier like that. I mean, we see him and we've gotten to know him over the years. I've known him forever, it feels like, but he's so laid back.
Oh, he's so chill.
But he's got he's like a duck to me. Like on top of the water, very chill, relaxed, but underneath, those legs are going a mile a minute. You know what I mean? He's just, I'm very impressed with the culture that he's going to build here at Florida. And you're already seeing some of the fruits of his labor.
2nd and 8. LSU on the move again. Daniels, his scrambling ability always gets him out of trouble, seemingly off the mark that time, trying to get it to John Emery. It'll be 3rd down and 8. McClellan had pressure on Jaden Daniels.
Close there. Daniels' ball was a little bit forward, but it was a little dangerously close to being a lateral. Here on 3rd down, Kayshon's had the hot hand. If he can find a quality matchup with the preseason All-American number 7 in the slot to the bottom, that's where I'm looking.
Third down and 8. They bring delayed, pressured on the inside cut. Jenkins is going to make it 1st and goal. LSU. Jaray Jenkins with the catch.
Really nice design here as they get just a little bit of a rub. Watch Kayshon to the right. He runs out to the flat, but he stays on top of where Jenkins is coming underneath, which causes the defender to stall for just a half second, which created the separation. That was a good job by Kayshon, and a nice design from the offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock.
They're 4 of 5 on 3rd down. There is no slow start tonight. Emery straight ahead. And will be 2nd and goal from the 1. That was McClellan with the tackle. Very active, true freshman defensive tackle. Second and goal, quick to the line. Emery pulls Daniels and just trots in. So Daniels takes it himself and scores. And that was a well-managed drive by Jaden Daniels and LSU.
Just back back and forth. Anything you can do, I can do better. A great read here as the defender collapses on the mesh. They almost did a really good job of recovering, Florida did. Just could not drop the athletic Daniels in the open field. And he finds pay dirt for LSU's answer.
So many similarities between these two programs, right? The big name first-year head coaches, the big blue blood power programs trying to get back to. Each team has had 2 possessions. Each team has scored 2 touchdowns, and that gives us.
Well, that Josh Heupel also ruins it for everybody. You know, it's like if we're not 7-0, top 5 in the country, then we haven't made any progress.
How was that Tennessee offense something?
It certainly is.
Anthony Richardson. Richardson is tracked down from behind as he is brought down by Jones.
So far, Anthony Richardson thrown just 1 pass. That 1 pass, however, a 51-yard strike on the second offensive snap of the game. So far, LSU's secondary has done a pretty good job in coverage. There hasn't been a ton of separation. There hasn't been a lot of open Gator wide receivers, and Richardson smartly has just run with the football when nothing's there.
Crowding the line of scrimmage in the A-gap as ETN doesn't have anywhere to go because of it. Everything was fit up perfectly, including Jones coming down the line, as well as Garner from that corner position, able to seal it up. You see Matt House, defensive coordinator for LSU.
He's done a really good job. Obviously, last week notwithstanding, everyone's going to point to that, but goodness gracious, I mean, his first 2 drives, his defense is on the field at their own 25-yard line. So Matt House done a pretty good job this year, especially as they've dealt with some attrition, having lost Major Burns and Mason Smith.
Third and 7. 4-man rush. They pick up the stunt. Richardson with time, but without an option, and then checks down to ETN. On 3rd and 7, good pursuit to the ball with Michael Baskerville corralling him. Jay Ward also came up defensively for Matt House and that LSU defense.
Another job there by LSU. I mean, just excellent coverage in the back end. Tried to run a play that they've run so many times this year on 3rd down, trying to hit Ricky Pearsall about 15 yards downfield, crossing with speed, and it was perfectly covered by the LSU secondary. They've done a really nice job of mixing coverages, and these Florida Gator receivers outside of the post of shorter haven't been able to create much separation.
This is our first punt of the game, Greg. Crawshaw on to punt away. Besh set to receive at the 20-yard line, and he muffs it. He muffs it, and Florida recovers, and it continues the special team miscues for LSU. It is unbelievable what's been going on this year. Time and again, special team miscues, and Besh, again, he struggled last week on kick return on the opening kickoff. And Rocco Underwood, the snapper, recovers it right off the face mask. You just can't do it.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it is unbelievable. I mean, it's almost as if the drops are contagious, so sure-handed, and second time in as many weeks he's put one on the deck.
And now Johnson looking to pass. And it goes incomplete. But it is unbelievable. I mean, Besh is a sure-handed receiver. But last week, a miscue on the opening kickoff. Tonight, the muff punt. And it just keeps happening. It started week 1 against Florida State. Last week against Tennessee. They're 117th in special teams efficiency.
And there's nothing that the coaching staff can do right there. I mean, they've tried 4 or 5 different guys in the back end to catch punts. Jack Besh is their most sure-handed wide receiver. He's back there to just secure it, not crazy speed, just secure it, and he can't even reel it in. It's just contagious with the drops and the mistakes on special teams.
Second down, Richardson. He shakes free. And he's inside the 5-yard line, near that line to gain. Finally tackled by Greg Brooks.
Such a difficult spot for this LSU defense, but if they could somehow find a way to deny the Florida Gators and hold them to 3, that would be enormous.
First and goal. as Johnson is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Ali Gay. Can they get the stop after the muff punt? I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They had 2 muff punts week 1. We were doing the Florida State game. That was Neighbors, who's another great receiver. He's got great hands. Last week against Tennessee, 2 early miscues, give up 10 points early tonight. It happens again. You can see the frustration from Besh.
And it's mental, man. I mean, it's 100% mental. And I don't know how you fix it. I mean, it's like when you're in a hitting slump, you got to just hit your way out of it. But, man, you just feel for Besh.
And Neighbors is right next to him. Listen, hey, I was there. I was there against Florida State. I know what you're feeling, my friend. Here's 2nd and goal. Richardson. He threw it to the inside and behind Dante Zander. So it's going to be 3rd and goal, an opportunity for the LSU defense.
Oh, man, this is one you just have to make. I mean, you got your tight end in the flat. Got Sanders wide open, and he just throws it off into the inside. It was almost as if Richardson just steered that one as opposed to just trying to throw it. If you try to be too accurate, try to be too perfect, it can cause it to go awry, and that ball goes right in behind his intended wide receiver, one that Richardson would love to have back.
3rd and goal. Johnson lowers the shoulders and makes his way in. So the special teams turnover becomes a touchdown for Florida.
Pretty well blocked there on the front side, but Johnson just refusing to go down. Difficult to see where the ball is exactly at that spot.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
And that is the 2nd of the night for Montrell Johnson. It has been a constant theme for LSU this year. I give special teams coordinator Brian Poley and Jack Besh is right back out there. Greg Clayton flanking him off the punt moments ago. And Florida cashed in with a touchdown off of it. Wild day in the games. Daniels had to work hard just to get back to the line of scrimmage as he was tackled by Kamari Wilson.
So far, we talked before the game, just kind of thinking, hey, both offenses kind of work their way into it. You know, don't make any pivotal mistakes. You know, feel yourself out in the first half. Meanwhile, both offenses have been lighting up the scoreboard, and every time Florida's done something well offensively, LSU's had an answer.
2nd down comes to the near side and misses on the comeback to Malik Neighbors. That was Avery Helm with coverage of Neighbors.
That was nice coverage there from Helm as he kind of squatted right there on Neighbors on the curl route. And he gets that right arm in there, breaks quickly, and knocks it away. Great coverage in the back end by the Gators.
3rd and 10. Swamp's getting loud. They've been successful on 3rd down tonight. Can they keep it up? Daniels. And he does, as he goes to Cole Taylor, past midfield. Yes, that Cole Taylor in 2020. It was his shoe that was thrown by Marco Wilson at the end of the wild upset of Florida.
Man, they are making life very difficult on Ventrell Miller tonight as far as coverage is concerned. Ventrell's excellent running sideline to sideline, but man, they're picking on him in the passing game.
Now here's Williams on the check down as he scoots ahead.
Just zone drop, and you can see as Miller kind of gets a little bit of depth, Taylor's able to slide right underneath it on the post and pick up a nice conversion. Excellent throw too by Jaden Daniels.
Taylor goes 6'7". 2nd and 2. Williams going to push that pile, and it'll be a 1st down at the 37-yard line. You know, you brought it up earlier. We were expecting a game where these offenses would try to get their footing a little bit. Instead, we got back and forth. And I use this word, and it's just so palpable. Urgency. There's urgency with these two teams right now and these two quarterbacks. Good run by Williams, breaking tackles, and another first down for the Tigers.
Very nicely done up front. As you can see, Jaden Daniels reading Monmielen right there at the end of the line of scrimmage. He stayed a little bit too wide, so he hands to Williams going vertical, and there's a nice seam. So far, both offensive lines settled in really nicely. Both these defensive fronts are very, very solid. These offensive lines haven't had many issues so far.
Fresh downs for Daniels and the Tigers. He's going to pass on first down, and he's going to go to the end zone, and Neighbors has got it. Check that. Brian Thomas has got it. Great catch, Brian Thomas. "24-yard touchdown catch, Thomas."
It's a heck of a catch, as Daniels kind of throws it a little bit underneath, as you see Kimber, number 8, the corner, as he secure it all the way through. Oh, as you can see, he's still fighting for it there at the end. But an unbelievable catch there by Brian Thomas, guy that's often overshadowed but has stepped up on several occasions to make big plays on vertical routes this year.
Look at that smile on Jaden Daniels. You know, last week against Tennessee, he was sacked 5 times.
Ruling on the field
They got into
was
such
a
a big hole.
touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Let's take a look. Does he secure the catch all the way through? He's got it right there. He's got it pressed, but that ball's starting to move a little bit. But he looks like he gets that right hand right in behind it. I'm not sure it ever touches the ground. Let's take a look at this. It's great effort there by Kimber, who just refuses to give up on it. He's trying to dislodge. I don't think there's anything there to suggest it's going to be overturned. If anything, I think it might be confirmed, because I don't think that ball ever touches the ground.
After
the
review,
shoulder
the
pad.
ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And it is a touchdown. Now, Brian Kelly has been talking about Jaden Daniels with his patience, his progression at 6 p.m.
That read requires you to start inside and then work out. He did so and dropped it in the bucket and allowed his receiver to make a play.
Richardson on first down, just beyond Ricky Pearsall. He had him in stride.
Let's see, I mean, Jaden Daniels off to a tremendous start. A lot of people say, I mean, he's a great athlete. We know he can run, but can he win with his arm? And clearly proving tonight. I remember my first time watching him as we were preparing for the Florida State game earlier this year. I was like, man, this guy's a lot more accurate than I realized, having kind of forgotten what he looked like in the past at Arizona State. So it's in there for sure, and it's certainly come out in a big way tonight.
Second down, as ETN will get just past the 29-yard line. The third and about 6 there. Baskerville with the tackle. Trevor Etienne, the younger brother of former Clemson star and current Jacksonville Jaguar running back Travis Etienne.
Let's see what they end up doing here in this 3rd and 6. Guy that they've really trusted on 3rd down has been number 1, Ricky Pearsall. Let's see if they can work him on maybe a slant or something like that off this bunch set.
See the pointing to protection to Etienne on 3rd and 6, but that rush gets to him. It was Baskerville. So the sack on 3rd down.
And this is just an overload in protection. They bring 6 guys, and this guy gets home right here over the top. This line is sliding to the left because Anthony Richardson just adjusted the protection. He thought there was going to be heavy pressure. They slide the line to the left. You have an unblocked defender to the right, and you have a new returner now back for the LSU Tigers.
That is Clayton. So Jack Besh, after muffing the punt, is replaced by Clayton. Second punt of the game, Crawshaw. This takes a great bounce, and he feels it off the bounce, and the coverage is right there. So a good putt from Jeremy Crawshaw. Emery goes up and over that time as he launched himself over Rashad Torrance for 10 yards.
I think there's going to be more availability here in the run game for LSU. So far, if you look at the numbers, I mean, just wearing Florida out through the air, 181 passing yards to just 52 rushing yards. Florida now is probably going to drop more guys back into coverage, which is going to open up more run lanes for the Tigers.
They've had 3 75-yard scoring drives. Daniels, a good strike to Malik Neighbors. And Neighbors is able to get it to the 43-yard line, tackled by Miller.
I think when you have to cover that deep comeback on the full boot action, it's almost uncoverable. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen the comeback covered. Unless Darrelle Revis is out there, you're going to be able to create some separation, and it's an easy pitch and catch, assuming you can get out clean on the naked bootleg.
Daniels' leg, you have a good chance of doing that. He can scoop. This time pressured as Brenton Cox was on top of him, and he throws it away.
You can see Billy Napier, Brian Kelly, a pivotal game at the midway point. Huge difference between 5-2 and 4-3. So this one of the highest importance, especially when it comes to the outsiders' expectation and the narrative surrounding these two first-year head coaches.
BK looked at that play call sheet, pointed to his eyes to Daniels, 2nd and 10. As he can't get past Ventrell Miller. Miller was right there. Cox was coming down the line. And it's only 2 yards, 3rd down and 8.
Brian Kelly getting after him a little bit right there on the numbers.
He walked all the way out to the numbers. They're 5 of 6 on 3rd down. Can they stay hot? That's to the near side. 3rd down, looked like perhaps offside as he launches it downfield for the free play, and they get it! Jeray Jenkins! Jaden Daniels said, risk reward, we're going to make you pay. Ramos adds the extra point, 28-21.
Excellent recognition here by Jaden Daniels. At the top of his drop, I want you to look at where his eyes are. He knows he's got the free play, but look at his eyes. His eyes are way to the left early, and then he scans them all the way back to the right to find his guy clearing down the right-hand side. And this ball is in the air a long time. He drops it in the bucket beautifully. Just an outstanding job by the veteran quarterback, taking advantage of the free play, using his eyes to keep defenders away.
In a pressure game, rivalry setting under the lights in the swamp. Here is Etienne from the end zone. .217 before we get to all of that. Richardson extending the play and then gets the strike to Pearsall. That was a heck of a play by Anthony Richardson to keep things alive. Ward had the tackle, but it's a 20-yard completion to Ricky Pearsall.
And a beautiful throw, too, by Richardson. Really nicely done. He had missed 2 throws earlier when he's been on the move, but those have been to his right. Not getting that shoulder closed. That time he closes his shoulder and throws a strike with great velocity and an accurate throw.
Richardson going to try to tuck and run, and he's met at the line of scrimmage by Ojulari. But keep in mind, Richardson, over 230 pounds, he can bring it.
Oh my goodness, this was almost 88 and out the gate. I want you to watch Pearsall. He runs a little out and up, all right? And he gets over the top, but he gets held. Watch. Right here, they grab his jersey, and then that kind of allows the defender to catch back up. Like they missed one there as far as the pass interference is concerned. But man, that was a nice route by Pearsall.
2nd and 8. Richardson going to check down to Johnson. And Johnson can't wiggle free because Jay Ward was waiting on him. Jay Ward, who made that outstanding play of the game in the road win at Auburn, the scoop and score, critical touchdown before halftime that sparked a comeback a few weeks ago.
Time's starting to become a factor. 40 seconds now. The clock's winding. Florida's got timeouts. But obviously, with this being a critical down and distance, no need to rush it. Start burning your timeouts if you convert.
Right now, it's a 3rd and 7 they have to conquer. Richardson on 3rd and 7 goes underneath to his tight end, Zipperer. And Zipperer's going to be marked just short. So remember, they do have the 3 timeouts. And the clock is counting down here as they're going to allow for that. And Napier says,
call a timeout with 4 seconds left.
Exactly.
Towards the end zone.
And just launch one. You got big Justin Shorter downfield, but Richardson's going the wrong direction. He's got to create space to launch it off his back foot. That's not going to reach at all and go out because Ojulari made it difficult on him. As we start this second half, LSU will get the ball to start things off.
He's such a competitor. He wants to try to win, and in those situations probably better, but he's such a great kid, and he's our best player.
Thank you.
Yep.
Josh Williams breaks free. Look at this run by Josh Williams. He broke a tackle and then hit the accelerator, and finally Johnson tracked him down. 51 yards to start the second half, Josh Williams.
It looked like Dexter was going to get him in the backfield. There he is, number 9, almost drops him, but he continues on. Makes a guy miss at Trey Dean. Continues on. Jaden Hill misses. Just an unbelievable effort there by Williams.
And now Emery breaks a tackle, but then finally is corralled by Johnson. What a start by Williams.
I mean, my goodness. As you can see, fired up there on the sideline for LSU. And the starts, them this year have been very, very disappointing. But right there, that's exactly how you want to start the second half, with a big-time run.
He's going to get more of the every down running back time. Armani Goodwin is out with a torn hamstring. Emery's been subbing in. But Williams has really stepped up in recent weeks. 2nd and 6. Daniels will turn the corner, and a good decision as he keeps his footing inside the 10-yard line, and you blink and it's 1st and goal.
Very impressive this time now with the run game. So much about the first half for LSU was their passing attack. 250 plus first half passing yards. But right now, as you can see, making a big point of emphasis at halftime, try to be a little bit more balanced. They've done a great job here in these first few plays of the second half.
First and goal, Daniels looking to run it himself behind Emery. Can he get to the corner? He can. Jaden Daniels, touchdown run.
Great speed here by Jaden Daniels. Didn't look like anything was there vertically, but he gets to the outside. And I don't think y'all realize how difficult it is to get to the edge against an SEC defense. Jaden Daniels does so there. They told us before the season that when they put that catapult system on him, he ran higher than 21 miles an hour. The guy's got unbelievable top-end speed and showed it off right there as he found pay dirt on the opening drive.
At the Swamp. They'll have a little more fun if their offense can get going. Listen, we've been with LSU a lot this year.
The Bayou Bengals.
Johnson can't go anywhere. He is wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Jaquelin Roy. He is such a disruptive force in the middle.
I think it's going to be really important here for the Florida Gators to get their quarterback into a rhythm. Anthony Richardson started the game beautifully with that unbelievable post throw to start the game, but he really wasn't in a great rhythm at any point throwing the football. They got to get him some easy completions early.
He only has 5 completions on the night. Second down, he puts that right in the number of Justin Shorter. It was Justin Shorter who got the night started with a 51-yard touchdown catch.
And this is a really nice throw and a good job being patient. It took a little while to develop. Shorter, pretty decent coverage to run that corner curl. He allowed it to uncover and he put it right between the numbers. That was a very nice throw and a good job of getting your quarterback started here in the second half.
Johnson trying to find something in the middle there, 42-yard line. Now, the ups and downs of Anthony Richardson, we discussed it right from the start. Which version are you getting?
And these two are the anomaly performances. I mean, you're never probably going to be as good as you were against Utah, and you're not going to be as bad as you were against Kentucky. But if you look at the 2 games against both Tennessee and against Missouri, if you can be there in the 75 range and a little bit higher, in a perfect world, you'd be in the mid-80s, high 80s in a perfect world. But you can coach around that as a coach. I need predictable performance from my quarterback, and that will allow me to be a better play caller and a better offensive-minded coach. Just can't have the roller coaster.
2nd and 7. There's a strike to Ricky Pearsall. As a flag is down back at the 34-yard line, and Pearsall takes it ahead inside the 30. Another flag came in late as Richardson was helped up off the turf. 31-yard reception as it stands right now.
They're going to get her up in the passer. I mean, it's bad, too.
Matt Leffler and the crew talking it over. Watch Jay Ward coming in from the safety position.
And he hits him low on a plant leg. I mean, that's uncalled for, honestly. I mean, that's, to me as a quarterback, that's no different than targeting. Like you are, I mean, I understand, look, he's a big guy, he's on the run. You are hitting him in the knee.
It's more career
That to
detrimental.
me is inexcusable. Should be a 30-yard penalty.
And you hear the reaction from the crowd here at the Swamp.
That's a dirty play. I mean, it's a dirty play. I don't know how else to describe it. It's uncalled for.
During the play, personal foul, roughing the passer, number 5 on the defense for a low hit. After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 67 on the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. It will be first down.
And there's Richie Leonard, who's actually starting the night. So you see him flying in as the, also not a real smart play there by Richie Leonard. He's starting the night in place of Osiris Torrance, who's out with a lower body injury. So as you can see, both coaches trying to get an explanation, but two plays that were just not smart by either team.
And those are the first penalties of the game for either team. 11:26 to go in the third. And the cascade of boos continue to rain down as obviously this crowd concerns for Anthony Richardson as he was sitting there as a target and you have a player going at his knee. So it's a first down after the 29-yard completion to Ricky Pearsall, who had a key fourth quarter touchdown in last week's win over Mizzou. Johnson, little shake and bake and leg drive to the 25 where he's met by Baskerville.
So getting back now to the run game for Florida. It's nice plays in the air. Now, got to get that run game going. Got to get those backs started in the second half. The receivers are going, your quarterback's going. Now get that offensive line going and see if you can't work yourself into an offensive rhythm.
Showing pressure off the edge. Let's see if they come. 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the run with Johnson, and he goes nowhere. He was met right away by that front, including Greg Penn with the tackle, and Baskerville also waiting on him.
It's a great job by Baskerville sliding in there, making the play at the line of scrimmage. So athletic there at the second level. It's a good linebacker group. He's played pretty well so far here in the early going of this football game.
3rd down and 5.
Big play here. 3rd down. Their guy is usually Ricky Pearsall. He's located down here in the slot. See if you can find a completion here to number 1.
Instead, it's Lingard out of the backfield, and he's going to put in that effort of lowering the shoulders, getting that pad leverage, and driving Bernard Converse straight ahead for a 1st down.
And just a great effort here. Good fake there by Richardson. Work to your right. Remember, he missed a couple throws earlier to his right as he moved, but an excellent finish there by Lingard. As you see him just get lower than the defender that's trying to make the tackle. And ultimately,
funny how basic things can be. Man wins,
leverage.
Right?
It's a game of leverage and inches, that's for sure. But Bernard Converse had really no chance, as Lingard clearly had a full head of steam.
And he stays in here on 1st down. And he'll get this run, but it only goes for 2 yards this time as Harold Perkins comes up with the tackle. Good-looking true freshman from Cypress, Texas, a 5-star.
He's going to be the real deal here in a couple of years. I mean, he's already made his presence felt, most notably against Mississippi State. I mean, made some great plays in that game. Made some great plays in the Auburn game as well.
Had an interception in that game.
He's going to be great. I mean, he can play off the ball, and he can also create up there along the line of scrimmage right now in a traditional linebacker spot. But, man, he might be, if Ojulari wasn't on the team, he'd probably be their most dynamic edge rusher. So, very versatile defender there for the Tiger defense.
Pre-snap penalty there. There was some movement.
False start on the offense. Number 77, 5-yard penalty. It is 2nd down.
Hey, let's tell you what you got next week on the SEC Network. At noon, it is going to be red-hot Tennessee. Have you seen the party that's going on in Knoxville, by the way? Those goalposts are going down the street. They're going into bars. Vandy and Mizzou at 4, and A&M and South Carolina at 7:30. Just think about the release after all the years of a blue blood power program struggling and having difficulty, and then Tennessee comes up with that slay the dragon moment against Alabama today. 2nd and 13. Lingard, look at those feet. A quick dart and dash to the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short from there. Jay Ward made the tackle.
It's interesting, the approach, too. Knowing the struggles that the Florida defense has had, doesn't feel like threes are going to win this one for you. If I'm Billy Napier, I'm telling my offense right now, man, you got 2 downs to get it. Because field goals are not going to get the job done with how LSU's offense has been clicking.
Let's see how they approach it on 3rd and 4. Timeout is being called by Florida. And now here we are in a wild one with LSU's offense tearing it up. A 3rd and 4 for Florida, trailing by 2 touchdowns at home. Richardson on 3rd and 4. Trying to keep it alive and then has to throw it away. There's Greg Penn, who was forcing him back.
Just really poor protection there for Florida. And now Billy Napier got a big decision. I think you have to go for it. Just with how LSU's clicking offensively right now, yeah, well, it might be nice to be able to secure some points on this drive. That'd be great, but ultimately, is 3 points going to really make a huge difference if your defense has really struggled? I like the aggressive play.
And a timeout is going to be called by LSU.
I didn't think at any point in that ball game.
Here's your 4th and 4. Richardson, 4th down, Florida. Oh, he just laser beamed the cut to Shorter, and it had no chance. Incomplete, turnover on downs.
Let's take a look. Billy Napier, I think, wanted a penalty. Felt like maybe the collision happened a little early, but man, there's a lot of heat on this throw. And Shorter, as a big body wide receiver, man, you gotta play more physical. I think that's good, sound coverage from Mekhi Garner. Really, really good. Well done there on the slant. And that's one. I mean, you're Shorter, you're 6'4", 225, man. Play like it. He got pushed over badly by a corner that's way undersized compared to him.
Hit as he throws was Jaden Daniels as Brenton Cox is coming in on him.
Guys, after a less than ideal start to the half on defense, the team's leader, Ventrell Miller, brought the defense together on Florida's sideline. He stood on the bench and delivered a passionate speech demanding urgency and execution from his teammates. It was such a spectacle. Florida fans in the section directly behind him gave him a standing ovation.
He has really developed as a leader. And now look at this strike from Jaden Daniels as he goes to Malik Neighbors. Jaden Daniels is having a hot night.
He looks really comfortable, and that's so difficult. I mean, they're able to run the ball really well on the opening possession. Look how much Florida's committed to the run. Look how many defenders are up there near the line of scrimmage for the Gators. They throw a glance right in behind it. So difficult to cover.
A 19-yard reception by Neighbors. Daniels, and here's Booty. And he makes a cut, and he has another first down for LSU. Kayshon Booty, his 5th reception of the night. He's over 100 yards.
And he just stabbed this one, too, because Jaden Daniels doing so with some heat. And you see number 7, Kayshon Booty, just go up there and snag it. And he's been a different guy these last couple weeks. I mean, got off to a really nice start tonight. And he's been a huge factor. I mean, really the first time all year when he's been maybe the best player on the field in the wide receiver spot for LSU.
Daniels can't get free of Brenton Cox. I mean, the conversation with Kayshon Booty is really interesting because this is a guy that at the end of 2020, I mean, he was setting records, had the 300-yard game against Ole Miss. Obviously, the injury last year, but he came into the season with everybody expecting him to get right back to that big-time status. It wasn't until last week in the 4th quarter of the blowout loss to Tennessee that he scored his first touchdown.
Yeah, there's been a major disconnect, and whether it's new offense, maybe not getting on the same page with his quarterback, but the talent's there, it's just the production isn't, and hopefully it comes in the second half.
2nd and 6, and he misses him that time. 3rd down and 6. Can Florida get the stop they need?
Big down for the Gator defense right here. Looking like man coverage based on the pre-snap look.
Daniels coming back to it and getting it as Lacey for a first down. They are 7 of 8 on 3rd down.
And this is just great timing here on the locked hitch. That ball's in the air right now, and it's on the receiver so quickly. As soon as he turns around, he's right there. Just excellent timing from Jaden Daniels and a great route there by Lacey.
Williams will get a little work. And Greg, I can remember the conversations that all of us were having this summer, SEC Media Days, everybody saying, listen, the wide receiver room at LSU is probably the best in the SEC, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, well, this is your quarterback, though. I mean, this is just making the quarterback better. Look at the route at the top. The ball's in the air right now. He's not out of his break yet, but that ball is in the air traveling towards Lacey before he makes his break. That's impossible to cover when it's timed like that. Excellent execution there from the LSU Tiger offense.
And people were pointing the finger and saying, but Jaden Daniels, are you going to get it to these great receivers? Tonight he is. He's over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdown passes. 2nd and 4, gets it up quickly again, and again it's Kyron Lacey. And he's right at that stick.
Is it a first down or is it third?
It is a first down.
It is. Very, very close.
Clock is under 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. And we are going to bring you the coverage of the Tom Petty moment that happens time and again. I won't back down before the fourth quarter, and they need to have that kind of a fight. The home team does. This is Tom Petty Day here in Gainesville, and they've been celebrating all night long. And one of the great traditions that started after the rock and roll legend's death in 2017, in fact, a game against LSU when they had 90,000 here, was playing I Won't Back Down. And time and again, that's what happens at the end of the third, before the fourth. And we're going to share that with you tonight in a special celebration. Second and 9. Here's Emery out of the backfield. Gets loose, tiptoes, but couldn't stay in all the way as Miller was with him.
This feels like such a critical spot for the Florida defense. Have really struggled so far tonight. Some of the short passing attack. Struggled a little bit against the run as well, but this is almost gotta have it scenario. If you allow 7 here, is there enough time remaining in the game to get 3 possessions for your offense to allow them to march down the field and make it interesting? So absolutely have to hold LSU to a field goal try.
Third and 3. Daniels pulls it, tries to cut against the grain and gets it. Jaden Daniels cuts back and gets the first down.
Excellent run there by Jaden Daniels. Nothing really there to the outside, thinking he's going to be able to jump out. He's pretty well leveraged there by Florida's defense, and he cuts back and makes a play. And that was pretty well defended. It's just a better offensive play.
Another long drive by LSU. They start with their worst field position. Williams can't find much there. 12th play of the drive there. Bernie makes the tackle. Brian Kelly has said, remember, this is a journey, this is a process, we're in the midst of it. There's going to be some good days, there's going to be some bad days. Last week against Tennessee, it was a bad day right from the start. Got into a hole, never recovered against one of the best teams in the country and a razor-sharp offense. Tonight it was different. Started hot, stayed that way with the offense, and Billy Napier's team is trying to play catch-up. Second and goal. Daniels, can he get past Cox? Yes! Striding his way for a 9-yard touchdown. Jaden Daniels, what an evening he's having.
And we showed you earlier when he ran the touchdown to the right. This time he goes around to the left. I mean, he has crazy top end speed. Felt like the whole time Cox was going to be able to track him down or at least force him out of bounds. But Jaden turns the corner, and his head coach, Brian Kelly, has got to be loving what he's seeing.
They can do no wrong at 6 Eastern. 42-21. 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, 6 total touchdowns for Daniels. Richardson looking to shake free. And they need to find a spark as he slides down and the flag is down back at the 20-yard line.
Holding on the offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And a reminder, in 57 seconds, we're going to take a very short break and then bring you one of the great newer traditions in college football, and that is Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down here at the Swamp, as this is the inaugural Tom Petty Day. And charitable connection and the good works here in Gainesville. Tom Petty, the rock legend, has his daughter here, his granddaughter here to remember Tom and his legacy, his brother here, and we'll bring you that spectacle. Goes to Zanders underneath. So Tom Petty grew up here in Gainesville. This is the home that he had. Of course, so many remembrances of a rock and roll legend throughout this college town. Final seconds here of the third quarter. Third quarter that saw Jaden Daniels run all over Florida. Florida trailing LSU by 21 at home. Anthony Richardson looking for Etienne to block, which he does, and here goes Richardson. Long strider and keeps his balance. What a run by Anthony Richardson. Superman in. And he says, I won't back down. Not the first time he's gone for an 80-yarder. He has shown all those explosive long-distance efforts over the last year and change.
You can stand me up at the gates of hell.
In with a big burst and giving Florida some hope. Maybe they should play Tom Petty during every commercial break. 42-28. Let's go. And now this crowd is roaring, looking for a stop. But it's been hard to do against Jaden Daniels all night long. And he goes back to Keishawn Butte. And Butte, well over 100 yards, 13 more on that reception. This was the night they were looking for.
Yeah,
Paul.
absolutely. This is what we wanted to see, man. That's what he's capable of course. And when you got the run game going, too, you're going to create a lot of problems with the zone coverage that Florida's trying to employ. Right there, they took advantage of it.
Daniels on first down. He wants more. Can he get it? Going up. Great body control by Brian Thomas. Man, oh man. Climbing up, high pointing, securing it, and 29 yards.
Trying to go a little out and up, but is well covered by Helm. But Brian Thomas just times his jump perfectly, high points it on the 50-50 ball. What an acrobatic catch. And another nice throw by Daniels.
The ruling on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Greg now overturned, no catch.
Yeah, and Brian Thomas, as he goes up, and watch the nose of the football as he turns over. Right there, nose of the football, and the ball moves as he makes contact with the ground. They decided that he did not have firm control as he went to the ground. So I think it's the proper call. Still doesn't take away from the effort. Just an incredible effort there down the left sideline.
So wipes out the 29-yard reception. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Brian Kelly's not happy at all. Should be thrilled with the effort of his quarterback tonight, though. Jaden Daniels, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. Can they close it out?
A lot of space right here. If I'm taking advantage of that zone right now.
Does he look to the slot? Yes, he does. Goes to Cole Taylor.
As you can see, he's the second LSU player with 6 touchdowns in a game. Joe Burrow did that 5 times. So
that record-setting 2019 season. 5,600 yards, 60 touchdowns that year for the Heisman Trophy winner. 3rd and 3.
Looks like you're going to get some one-on-ones here. Work a little hitch route to the outside. Down to the left, you're going to have some room.
Pressure off the edge. Incomplete. Threw it to the back hip of Keishawn Butte.
And this is a hot route right here. They bring pressure off the edge. And he has to get rid of the ball very, very quickly. It looks like he hits Butte in a spot where Butte's got to make that catch. It's not a terrible throw. It's not a great throw by any stretch, but understand how quickly that ball's got to get out of Jaden Daniels' hands. That's one that Butte's got to make for him.
Let's introduce you to Jay Bramblett. Who is he? The guy who hasn't punted tonight. Finally, 13 minutes left in the game. A punt from LSU. Henderson, fair catch at the 14-yard line. So the defense did their job.
Illegal formation, more than 4 in the backfield. That 5-yard penalty being forced from the end of the kick. First down.
They're going to punt again.
Find out more on that. And they decided instead, after the nice punt by Bramblett, to actually take the penalty prior to the kick. See if they'll kick it again. I don't blame them because LSU's punt coverage unit has been sketchy at times, especially last week against Tennessee.
Gave up a 58-yard punt return against Tennessee. So will Henderson get a chance for a return here? It's a great directional punt. Can't do better than that. Outside the numbers, right on the white paint. So Florida gets it back, trailing by 14. Richardson had the 81-yard spectacular touchdown moments ago, and now to pass. It goes low but complete to Henderson. Is there life here with Florida? Seems like they found a little something.
And what a catch. I mean, that ball is low. I mean, right off the top of his shoelaces. Just a great catch there by Henderson. Pretty well covered, too, by LSU. Wasn't really a whole lot there. That was a tighter window than you'd like to see on a bootleg.
12-yard reception from Xavier Henderson. They go with a little tap pass to Henderson now. Well blocked out in front. And he goes for 11 yards there. That stops the clock. First down, Florida. Matt House and that defensive staff to the near side of the booth.
This is a spot, if you're Anthony Richardson, you just got to take the game over. I mean, he did a great job on the last drive. Obviously having that huge touchdown run, but now you got to continue to make unbelievable plays. The coverage has been good too, so you got to be very accurate when throwing the football.
He's done it before. Remember all the drama against Utah. They were number 7 in the country week 1. There he goes to Henderson again, who spins free. And he goes for 8 yards. So they've been leaning on him. Baskerville with the tackle. And Florida's moving the ball now.
They're going to give Henderson a much-needed rest after 3 straight plays in which they called his number. In comes Ricky Pearsall. We're going to go with 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on the field here. So this, normally for Florida, this personnel grouping is a heavy run grouping. Should likely be a run play, knowing who's on the field for the Gators.
And that's what they do, and they only get a yard with Montrell Johnson as Wingo made the tackle. Coming up on under 11 minutes to play. Jaden Daniels has given LSU the 2-touchdown lead, but then Anthony Richardson sparked things to start this fourth quarter with a masterful 81-yard touchdown run that you will see run on every highlight time and again. And now after the defensive stop, here a 3rd and 1 for the Gators. Johnson, he's going to have the first down. He's going to stiff arm his way for even more.
Nice job there by the left side of the offensive line. Well blocked. And Johnson had plenty of space out to the left-hand side. You see him just kind of chase Ojulari and Mekhi Wingo out as they kind of looped around. There was nobody on the inside. It's well done up front. Be alert here if you're LSU. This is where Florida wants to go heavy play action and throw it over your head. So be very, very smart if you're in the back end for the Bayou Bengals.
Here's the play action. Here's Richardson with time, and then was looking to check down, but had to chuck it away as Ojulari was closing in.
LSU was listening because they tried to take a shot and hit Justin Shorter, but I want you to see how many LSU defenders are running with the deep post. Remember, second offensive play of the game, they threw a touchdown on this almost exact same play. This time they were not fooled. As you can see, look at all those guys back deep, accounting for the guy that got behind him earlier in the game. Just a nice adjustment there by the LSU defense.
Second down. They go with the bubble. Henderson again. He's been getting a lot of work and with good reason. As a quick dash out of bounds. And there's the late flag for what you saw at the end of the play. So they're going to add to it. And Florida's going to be in good shape here. As Henderson goes for 10 yards. That was Jay Ward at the end of the play.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the defense, number 5. And penalty being enforced. 15 yards, first down.
That's 2 now on Ward. He had the hit earlier on Richardson. This time, I think he just loses track of where he's at on the field. That's pretty far out of bounds. I'm not sure what he's thinking. That's just a lack of composure.
Watch Billy Napier in the background there. Head coach says, hold on a second, man. What are we doing over here? Let's get that flag out. So now for Florida, as they march down the field, 8 different receivers have caught a pass. This is the drive they need to get right back in it. ETN. Nowhere to go. Ojulari with the tackle.
And LSU's done a really nice job all night containing Trevor Etienne, who is one of our impact players. Obviously, just such a dynamic weapon there at running back. But LSU, every time he's touched the football, they have converged on him. And he's such a good back when it comes to that initial jump cut and then a quick acceleration. Just never really had much of an opportunity to get much going. He's been going laterally most of the night. That's a tribute and testament to how much of a priority he was in the plan defensively for Matt House and this LSU defense.
Henderson motions. Richardson with time goes with the shallow cross, and to the 9-yard line is Justin Shorter. Clock under 8.5. Florida showing some fight.
Richardson took a big hit at the end of that last play, kind of limping a little bit as he kind of got hit down around that left leg again. As you see him grimacing too. Something to watch there. That left leg might not be 100% after the hit he took right there.
Sean DeClaire, his mother, working on, anxiously awaiting the results of this long drive. Play number 10. Got to have it under 8 minutes to go. Straight ahead and cutting and trying to get towards that goal line was ETN, but it'll be 1st and goal. And they will quickly get to the line. ETN flanking Richardson. And diving his way in. And all of a sudden you look up at that scoreboard and things are a whole lot different since Tom Petty cranked it out.
To an 8-point game.
It was very impressive. Caden Daniels, they go with the receiver screen. Neighbors as he slithers his way for 9 yards.
Guys, between Anthony Richardson, 81-yard TD, getting off the field on 3rd down and watching the offense cut it to 7. This once deflated and defeated defense has been revived. They've got that pep back in their step. Ventrell Miller told his guys, it's time to go do our part now.
Boy, Malik Neighbors was in a lot of pain at the end of that play, Greg.
Yeah, he was. He really got landed on really hard at the end of this. Big Gervon Dexter and Trey Dean as he's going to the ground. Watch just how hard they kind of go on top of him right there. Maybe he lands on the football or kind of gets his arm tucked underneath there, but either way, not a guy they want to be without. He's an explosive playmaker and will complement the rest of these wide receivers.
And Katie made the point about the defense. Can they deliver again? 2nd and 1. Williams is going to move the chains, and we're going to move under 7 minutes to play.
It's in this particular spot offensively. Your quarterback's been phenomenal tonight if you're LSU. Just terrific, very accurate. But this situation in the game does not call for his brilliance. This calls for the offensive line, and it's a challenge to the run game. You have to put a drive together. Your defense is on their heel, giving up 14 fourth quarter points. Now as an offense, you have to secure control of this game and take the life out of the stands with a potent rushing attack.
Try to do that with Williams. He can't find much there. Maybe just a yard as Jervon Dexter among those with Bernie there to make the tackle. An offensive line that's without their starting left guard, Garrett Dellinger, who's out with a second-degree MCL. And Will Campbell, the left tackle, the true freshman, who was hospitalized last week with dehydration. He's back, but Dellinger's out. 2nd and 9.
If you throw it, if you're LSU, you got to think high percentage as well. Right now, I mean, this look defensively for Florida, I mean, it's begging LSU to throw the football versus one-on-one coverage.
Malik Neighbors, who's their go-to guy, is in the medical tent right now. 2nd and 9, downfield, and it is intercepted. Florida's in business here with Jason Marshall getting the pick. How about this? Florida football with 5:47 to play, trailing by a touchdown. A flag is down all the way back at the 28-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 9 on the defense. Previous spot. 15 yards. Automatic first down.
Jervon Dexter roughing the passer.
Wow. You see Dexter right over the middle. I mean, it does feel like that collision happens, but is it late? Let's look at it from this point. Yeah, he's high, and you can see he lands on him with all of his body weight. Man, that's unfortunate because there's really nothing that Dexter can do. It's an unbelievable play there defensively by the Florida Gators. But it's a lot like what's going on in the NFL last week. People up in arms with how things have gone down as far as roughing the passer is concerned. A very hot topic of debate right now in the world of football at all levels.
What a different game we would have right now. Florida interception wiped out. LSU continuing to grind it out. Clock continues to count down on Billy Napier and the Gators' hopes.
A lot of things. LSU just continues to try to lean on this defense. But I also think, too, a quarterback run, maybe a quarterback sweep or a zone read where Jaden Daniels is reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. You could potentially get out to the edge very, very quickly. So that would be something I'd be considering right now if I'm Mike Denbrock, the OC.
2nd and 8, he's going to pass. He's going to walk it downfield to the end zone. And Neighbors back out there was the intended target. So it'll bring up a 3rd down, and the clock stops. 4:08 to play. This is a big one coming up here at the Swamp, and it is going to get loud.
And then another big decision, too, for Brian Kelly. Is this 4-down territory? Based on how he's treated the last couple weeks, it might be. And knowing the uncertainty surrounding their kicking position as well. The possible 4-down territory here for LSU.
They didn't connect on their last drive on 3rd down, and they punted for the first time. How will this play out? Looked like he was signaling for a timeout. And that is what will happen as they will talk it over. Daniels to pass, 3rd and 8. They drop coverage, and he gets it complete for 7 yards to Brian Thomas. So here comes that 4th down. Or will they bring the field goal unit out there? They're keeping the offense on the field. 4th down and 1.
4 tight ends in the ball game, too, for LSU.
Josh Williams will be the running back.
Expect just downhill, A-gap to A-gap power.
4th down and 1, game on the line. Williams, he's got it. 1st down, LSU. Brian Kelly didn't flinch. And 2 for 2 on 4th downs tonight.
Just an excellent job there. Really was no one there, kind of got washed down inside as the left side of that offensive line kind of leaned heavily with their double teams on the Florida Gator front. And Williams doing a really nice job of just going straight vertical and picking up the first down.
Give credit to Will Campbell, the true freshman, who was in the hospital last weekend and out there playing hard tonight. And Emery able to spin free for a moment. Look at this effort as he gets to the 20-yard line. 2 timeouts remain for Florida.
And at this point, if you're a defense, you have to rip at the ball as much as humanly possible. I mean, it's really the only way you can win this game is by forcing a fumble or by capitalizing on a massive LSU mistake. Gotta jar the ball loose, and if you're LSU, don't fight for the extra yardage. They're not worth it. Just protect the football at all costs.
Going to bleed every second off that play clock. Daniels will keep it himself as they're unable to even get a tug on that ball. As he brings it down to the 16-yard line. You got to think a timeout will be used by Florida here, and indeed that is the case.
Obviously right here, 1 timeout remaining for Florida, so a first down doesn't essentially end it, but for all intents and purposes it does. Absolute gotta have it situation, but like we said a second ago, tug at that football if you're the Florida Gators.
Daniels going to keep it himself as Williams the lead blocker, and the flag came down. Whistles were blown pre-snap.
Interesting to see if they call us on the offense or the defense, because it looked like there was some movement on the front for Florida, which led to LSU jumping offside. So this could be a first down by way of an offsides.
It was 3rd and 2.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty. It is 3rd down.
So just a glimmer of hope for Florida.
And you see on the left side, I mean, it looked to me like Florida kind of moved early. Oh, no, so 85 definitely moved a little quicker.
That's Stores.
That is Stores. The hammer, as Mike Denbrock referred to him as their physical tight end at the end of the line of scrimmage. Good call by the official.
3rd and 7. Well, that was sloppy up front as well. That was very sloppy as there was movement.
Before the snap, false start. Offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
The freshman Emery Jones, the right tackle.
That's a killer, too. I mean, remember the challenges that LSU's had in field goal range as well. So if I'm Jaden Daniels and if I'm thinking about this play, obviously keeping the clock rolling, forcing Florida to burn a timeout is huge, but taking a sack, not an option. If you get dropped back and nothing's there, you run as fast as you can vertically and see if you can't pick up whatever you can.
They were moments away from putting this thing away with a first down. Instead, they backed up to a 3rd and 12. Daniels will keep it on the ground. He goes nowhere. He's going to be tackled for a loss, and he's going to be wrapped up by Javon Dexter, who, remember, had the roughing the passer that wiped out the would-have-been interception with over 5 minutes to play.
He made up for it right there on a critical 3rd and long, but here's that controversial roughing the passer. It's the correct call. No denying that it's the correct call. Anytime you land with the full body weight of the defender on the quarterback, it's going to get called. It's the correct call by the official. But definitely one that is definitely a little bit unlucky for the Florida Gators for sure.
Ramos. And he nails it. Etienne's going to return it from his own end zone. Remember, he had a 47-yard return to start the game. Brings us out past the 25. Couldn't make that trip when I had the chance to stand by you for 4 hours in the swamp.
What a great game we've had, too.
It has been fun. Anthony Richardson has made it that way in the 4th quarter. He had the big run to make it a game again as he just goes to Montrell Johnson. That 81-yard touchdown, was that not absolutely a thing of beauty by Richardson to open up this fourth quarter?
He's electric, man. I mean, it's in there. If he can ever just tighten the screws on some of his accuracy stuff, and it's coming. He's got a nice natural motion. He throws a really pretty ball. It's coming. He's a work in progress for sure as far as being a full, well-rounded player is concerned. But, man, he's got some electricity. So does Jaden Daniels with the performance that he's had tonight.
2nd and 6. Richardson, is that a live ball? LSU jumps on it with Wingo. As Harold Perkins was right in the face of Anthony Richardson, the true freshman dynamic edge rusher comes in. Wingo recovers it.
Tough play.
A turnover of the night, Greg.
Really tough play for a right-handed quarterback. You're rolling out, you're trying to get out in front of it, but you're getting chased from behind. And as you pull that ball out, Perkins is right there. I'm telling you, every week Perkins does something amazing. I mean, every week. This guy's, I know last week he really wasn't utilized the way that he'll be utilized in the future.
By LSU.
After review, the quarterback's arm was moving forward, the hand was moving forward. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass.
That's a significant issue. Now, here for Florida, a little interesting situation. You can get a big chunk play and kick a field goal, too. Try an onside kick. So, game not totally over just yet.
3rd and 6. Richardson is going to duck out of bounds and pick up the first down as Perkins was tracking him. That leaves 1:29 remaining.
You're LSU, I mean, defensively, just don't let anything over your head. As simple as that. I don't care if you have to stand 25 yards downfield. Just play safe, conservative, and without any timeouts, it's going to be difficult for them to just matriculate their way down the field in a methodical manner.
You can see how deep the safeties are. Jay Ward is basically playing in Orlando right now. You saw that movement on the right side with Austin Barber.
False start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's going to be so much to take away from this day in college football, Greg.
Think there'll be a few things to talk about?
Just a few. I'm really curious to see where Tennessee lands in the rankings. Richardson pointing directions downfield, but that ball was deflected. Looked like Baskerville got his hand up. What would you do with Tennessee? Where would you put Tennessee?
I mean, you can make a case right now. I mean, who's got a better resume than Tennessee? I mean, you got to win against Pitt. You got to win against Florida. You got to win against Alabama. I mean, that's a rock-solid resume. Ohio State, they've looked dominant, but they haven't really beaten a super high-quality team just yet. I think Michigan's going to really move up as well. They'll probably stay ahead of Tennessee with how dominant they were against Penn State. And then where do you drop Alabama as well? But, I mean, I'd have Tennessee in the top 3 at the very worst.
That looked like it was a backward pass.
Yeah, it did.
Flag is down back at the 24-yard line. That was played like an incompletion, but I think that was a backward pass. You can see the signal of the holding.
Holding on the offense, number 77. The penalty is declined. Third down.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looks backwards. So that's technically a live ball right there.
Absolutely it is.
I mean, obviously the holding penalty either way. That was a strange sequence there. As Montreal didn't really do anything with it after he secured what was a lateral.
So you make the very strong point of Tennessee's got the best resume. Tennessee's got the best win. Tennessee's accomplished the most at this point
I think
of the season.
Georgia might have
For
the
the
best
ball
win.
be spotted
Georgia's got
at this spot, it will still be third down.
Georgia's got that win against Oregon that
Yes.
feels like forever ago. Don't get me wrong.
You think that's a superior win over beating Alabama?
I think you could make a case that the fashion with which they won the game.
No, I mean, they dominated.
I think Tennessee, huge win, best win of the year, like I said. but maybe not in the dominant fashion. So if you want to have Georgia ahead or Ohio State ahead because of the, quote, game control metric, right? And I can understand some of that thought process.
Yeah, let me tell you what you can do with metrics as far as I'm concerned. You topple Bryce Young, Alabama, Nick Saban, King of the Hill in that spot. That's a superior win. I don't care how you do it.
Right.
Okay, because 90% of that Oregon game was played.
Holding on the offense, number 76. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Now, I do think that Tennessee will receive first-place votes.
As they should.
And I don't have any problem with that
Absolutely
whatsoever.
not.
I think Michigan might, too, to be honest with you, with the performance that they had against Penn State. I'm not sold on Penn State personally. But either way, Michigan, I thought, looked dominant today in a lot of ways.
I wonder what time that party in Knoxville is stopping. What do you think? Maybe Tuesday?
Wednesday.
These LSU fans that have made the trip here to Florida are sure going to enjoy their night outside the swamp. Here's your 4th and 20 with Richardson. You see the arm talent just slinging it, but well over the head of Henderson. And 64 seconds, LSU fans are going to be celebrating a win officially.
Pretty amazing, even though LSU has certainly had their fair share of ups and downs. Still everything right in front of them with all their goals still very much intact.
For Jaden Daniels. You said it earlier, big difference between 5-2 and 4-3.